We've taken back control of New York City. I run New York City. I'm a pimp. The only
Fight Fiend Forecast. I'm Joseph, the host, back for yet another full card prediction show. This for UFC 309 in New York at Madison Square Garden. Jon Jones, main event versus Stipe Miocic. Now, before we get into it, before we get going, let's talk about last week real quick. Cortavius Romius, he was a parlay buster. I understand that, but if you listen, some of you, a lot of you don't, I'm sure. I said Gaston Bolanos was on this Instagram channel. They posted about him, and they posted about other fighters previous to the fight. And yeah, somehow they got another underdog pick correct against the people. A lot of the majority of people had Cortavius Romius. Some of yous, a couple of yous, had Gaston Bolanos. Baloney. He got it done by a decision. I bet him actually here. By first round knockout here. And not feeling very good about it. Should have bet him just to win on the money line. That would have been the much better bet. So next time, probably just going to look at a money line bet if I have some intel about an underdog. They're not always going to win by knockout or submission, so it's hard to play the props. But looking at the prelim prop, it's produced, and we're going to make these bookies pregnant. Another 8-1 submission. Are you kidding me? We made Prelim Tim on Instagram put a Coca-Cola down his pants, down his shorts. He didn't have pants on. You better go check that out on Instagram. It made me laugh a lot last night. The other night there after the fights, I was losing it laughing. He put a Coca-Cola down his pants. He did not eat his hat. He said he was going to if Tresean Gore got the submission. Well, would you look at that? He got it done. Round 1, too. I was shocked it was round 1. I was looking at that round 2 submission. That was one of my bets as well, but he got it done in round 1. You can't complain. He was a lock of the week, and he was the least likely lock to win, although he was a favorite. The other locks were pretty big favorites. Carlos Prates, the Fighting Nerds, let's go. He got it done. That was unbelievable. Round 1 as well. We got the first round freeze with the other lock of the week. So we cashed again 3 locks last week, and that's 15 in a row. Now, someone asked, you're on a heater. How many units profit are you up in the last 5 events? I tallied it up, the last 5 events, profit gained. I'll show you what I came up with here. We're up 101 units, 101.6 units in the last 5 events. Everybody has their own unit size, but if you're taking my bets for $5 a month on Patreon, and you're a Platinum Forecaster, you're up 100 units. You've doubled your bankroll in 5 events. I don't know who's doing that right now. I just don't know who's doing it. It doesn't really matter because I'm here. I'm doing the damn dance, and we're ready to go for UFC 309. I'm ready to go, try to lock in here again. I'm going to be completely honest. I might have to flip a coin on a couple fights. I don't have the locks locked in again for the full card prediction show. I'm sorry for that, but this card, you see a lot of big favorites. Hard to come up with a play there with such a chalky number. And then you got some fights I have confidence in that I don't really feel like locking in. But we'll talk about each and every fight. Couple underdogs. I'm looking to bet, see if we can get back on track here with the dog of the week. Gerald Mershit was terrible. And DeRitter was no better. Don't get me wrong. Drop the lighter because we're not hot with the dog of the week. But DeRitter was not much better. I mean, he could barely get up after the fight. I think his next fight, it's a fade for me. I don't know about you. I'm fading DeRitter next fight. I'm fading GM3 next fight. F3 is going to be wise. And fade GM3 next time. I don't know what the hell that was. I thought he was winning up until that point. And what a shame. The one time I pick him, you know what I'm saying? The one time I pick GM3, he loses. Every other time I pick against him, and he wins. The last 2 he won, so shame on me. Shame on me. this week, let's see if we can make less mistakes. We had 3 picks wrong the last 3 events. Not too bad. We're up 100 units profit nonetheless. Let's see who else we can lock in and have confidence in. And we're going to start it off with a women's fight. The first fight of the night here now. Eduarda, Moura from Brazil. And she was having a lot of finish wins prior to the loss to Diniz Gomes. You see Gomes last week get the win to a high caliber, well-experienced girl. Not that high caliber, Karolina Kowalkiewicz. But she got it done. She looked pretty good. And Moura only lost by split decision to Diniz Gomes. I feel like they're pushing her to get the win against a girl with not a great record. Dan Hardy has her boyfriend, Veronica Hardy. She's not looking too bad. She's winning some fights consecutively. But it's time for a loss. I think Eduarda Moura is the much better fighter. She has the finishing potential as well. Training down in Brazil. She is with Jailton Almeida. So, I know some of you don't like Jailton Almeida, but he's not that bad, and I feel like he's a better guy to train with than Dan Hardy. Don't get me wrong. Dan Hardy ain't a bad guy. I love the PFL. I like betting on it. I like watching it, listening to Dan Hardy go on, but compared to training with Jailton Almeida and the people she is with down there in Brazil, I'm looking to get these bags on an underdog. A women's underdog. We've had a few in the past that were very good. Pooja Tamar, she was a lock of the week at 4-1 underdog. So I think we're going to do it. Eduarda Moura, underdog of the week here. She's going to be barking first fight of the night. It's been a while since we did see an underdog in the first fight of the night. I know last week I went chasing and the women's underdog was not good at all. Not good at all. 51% confidence in the last women's underdog first fight of the night. Claudia there, she was terrible, but Eduarda is much better, much better. You got to get in now because I think the odds might drop. Veronica Hardy, I'm going to pull her up here. Looking at her last couple fights, not too bad, but decision to JJ Aldrich. Jamie Lynn Horth, split decision. This is a girl in Veronica Hardy that lost 4 years ago. Took a big layoff after a loss to Bay Malecki. 1-0, unanimous decision. She can lose fights. She's lost fights before. 4 losses. Her record is not very good. You look at Eduarda Moura. Her first loss was her last fight. She was undefeated before that. I think she's coming back to get a finish and make it look dominant. She's eager to get back into the win column after a loss. She's not known to losing. Now, normally after a loss, you might see another loss in the future, near future, but this is not it. Not against Veronica Hardy. Before, she got choked out to Gillian Robertson, 2019. She lost to Andrea Lee, unanimous decision, 2018, and Ashley Evans Smith, 4-0, finished her on the ground with nasty elbows and ground and pound. Moura can do the same. The game plan is there. The underdog is barking. And Veronica Hardy, I don't know what she's going to do. Other than Dan Hardy. So, lock it in. Dog of the week, Eduarda Moura, plus 130. Take it to the fucking bank. Down in Brazil. Let's go. Come on now. Let's get it. Let's go. Come on. We got Oban Elliott. Bassil Hafez here. Another 9-4 opponent. We got the tail of the tape too, right? So that's unbelievable. I got that all made up here. Oban Elliott, 11-2. It's just another fight where you see the records. And it says enough. You just got to be sure. Bassil Hafez is tough. But, you know, you got to look even further. Yeah, he's tough. We've seen it in his last couple fights. Where is he training? He's training with Gaethje. Justin Gaethje. Usman. Former champ. Yeah, he's training with some pretty good people. Not a bad dog. But Oban Elliott should get it done. Absolutely. He's durable. He could be chinny. You know, he does have 2 losses. I see that there. Both by knockout. Not great. Not looking to parlay him near the top. That's all I'm saying. He's an unproven guy, 26 years old. Bassil Hafez went to a split decision with Jack Della Maddalena. He is good. He's not bad. He beat Mickey Gall. Should have finished him last fight there. He can win fights. He trains with very good people. He obviously does not want to leave the UFC. Oban Elliott should be able to squeeze it out. Just maybe another split decision win. Do enough damage on the feet. I think he has more power, quicker hands. He's the younger fighter. His fight on the Contender Series was a majority decision. So yeah, I can see this one going to a split. Being a very close fight. Potential loss even for Oban Elliott. He could get caught. 2 knockout losses. Bassil Hafez has a little bit of finishing potential. Probably more, in my opinion, than Oban Elliott. So be very careful. Be observant throughout the week. Pick could change. Confidence levels could change. Right now, it's a low confidence pick. Medium confidence. Oban Elliott, 69%. He should pass the test. But Bassil Hafez has a right hand. He has a triangle choke in round 1. A Kimura in round 1. Rear naked choke round 1. Armbar round 1. He has more finishing capabilities in this fight. Oban Elliott, he's a decision fighter. Hopefully he can do enough in this fight to get it done with a guy training with Justin Gaethje, Kamaru Usman. We'll see how it goes. Bassil Hafez, if you're taking him, not a bad pick. Credit to you if he wins. Credit to you. I am not betting Oban Elliott heavy or near any top leg of any parlay I make. Let's get that clear if you're listening. And the next fight on the prelim, another fight that I'm looking to avoid so I can make some profit, is Mickey Gall, 7-6. And Ramiz, Brahimaj, 10-5. Lost to Themba Grimbo. Lost a lot of decision fights. So did Mickey Gall. Lost a lot of fights by a decision. Both of them have a ton of submission wins. All wins by submission for Ramiz. I think all wins by a submission for Mickey Gall. So, cross out the submission. Cross out the decision if you don't know what's going to happen. And look at the scoring numbers on the feed here. I think Mickey Gall is going to do enough. Lost 3 fights in a row. Got knocked out to Mike Malott. But he does enough on the feet in his losses. I looked at the numbers. He does enough on the feet. He has a much better percentage. More volume. He's been durable. He got knocked out before. I know. Mike Malott. Just mentioned that. Diego Sanchez. He lost the decision to Randy Brown way back in 2017. He's been in the UFC since 2016, and he entered 1-0 professionally. So they've thought very highly of Mickey Gall from the beginning. He's going to get it done. 3 losses in a row. He is a slight favorite. 50-50 fight, actually. All their wins by a submission. That's how they get it done. That's how they catch fighters. But the fighters they are winning against aren't good. 6-4. 6-3 for Ramiz. His decision losses to Court McGhee and Themba Grimbo. He did nothing. The stat numbers are not here. I can't trust in this guy at all. Now, training at Fortis MMA, I believe in the gym. He's looking good on the Instagram, tape study, stuff like that, recent film. But can't trust in the guy. Mickey Gall looks good too. 7-6. Why is he still here? 3 losses in a row. He has to get it done. Back against the wall. I want to see him get it done here. Let's go, Mickey. 50-50 fight. You're going to have to flip a coin. But I'm going with the fighter with a 2-inch reach advantage. The guy I know that is better on the feet. The numbers prove it. And he is much taller. He's going to be able to have success at range on the feet. Most people might think this could get to a grappling fest. A couple exchanges that are interesting. But Mickey Gall could do enough on the feet to win a decision. Both these guys are tough to knock out. Guys that have knocked him out are pretty good. Have better striking than both these fellas, but you never know what can happen. It's mixed martial arts. Give me Mickey Gall. Flip a coin, and don't put it near any top leg of your parlay. This is another one, another fight you want to avoid so you can be profitable at the end of the night. Pick your spots wisely. Get the sniper out. We got Marcin Tybura next against Jhonata Diniz. Diniz 8-0. 33 years old, kickboxer, 3-time world champion, has power in the hands. Recent film looking very good. He can get the knockout 100% against Marcin Tybura. But I'm not picking him to win. Alright? Marcin Tybura. He had a nice submission win to tie Tuivasa round 1. That could happen in this fight. Maybe not first round. Could be second, third round. Marcin Tybura is durable at times. He lost to Tom Aspinall. Round 1 knockout. It's Tom Aspinall. Right? Come on now. Sergey Spivak submitted him round 1 last fight there. Not a bad loss. Come on now. Jhonata Diniz is not going to get the takedown or even go for a submission in this fight. He actually got taken down in his last fight to Carl Williams late in the fight, and he had really nothing on the ground to offer. Marcin Tybura is levels above him on the ground, and at the end of the day, being honest, Jhonata Diniz could be levels above Marcin Tybura on the feet. This is a good test for Jhonata Diniz. 8-0, undefeated, has power in the hands. This is another fight. I'm looking at a couple hedge bets here. Maybe a knockout hedge bet. Diniz has power on the feet. He was supposed to fight Derek Lewis recently. UFC Edmonton. Fight got canceled the night before the fight. He definitely wants to get back in there, do some damage. Big reach advantage. 2 inches. He has a big reach. 80 inches. So, he does have a chance. 3-time world champion in kickboxing to get it done. But, I don't know. Austin Lane took him down as well. So I just see a path for Marcin Tybura to get the takedown, get the submission, and fraud check Jhonata Diniz. I thought it was going to be Derek Lewis on the feet. I thought Derek Lewis was going to knock out Diniz. I don't think Diniz is that guy. But I guess Marcin Tybura is going to go to work for me, go to war, and we'll see what happens. The Polish are not looking too powerful as of late, so probably not putting a bet on this one if I do. Maybe just a bet on Diniz KO. Tybura submission. 2 props right there. Let's go. Let's keep it going here. We got Jim Miller. 8'10 Jim Miller. Lyme disease Jim Miller. 37 and 18 Jim Miller. 41 years old Jim Miller. Let's go. It's hard to go against him. I've been riding the A1 train the whole time. Damon Jackson. His last fight, he didn't look very good. I know he wants to get back in there and do a lot of damage, but he's just not looking like a savage. Just not looking like a savage anymore. 36 years old. He's getting old. He's chinny. He's been knocked out to Elliott pretty bad. Pretty fucking bad. He got knocked out to Dan Iggy pretty bad. I want Jim Miller to get the knockout. He's from New Jersey, just across the pond. Damon Jackson is from Dallas, Texas. This favors Jim Miller, 41 years old. Ride off into the sunset with a knockout win. Damon Jackson does not look UFC caliber anymore. Does not have the striking numbers. Can't get the takedowns. And then you match all that up with who he's fighting here. A10, Jim Miller. Give it to me, baby. Let's go. Another underdog here. Jim Miller must be a potential dog of the week. You know, we got Eduarda Moura. Maybe I switch it up. I have no content made up for the dog of the week yet. And I'm not going to make it up until Tuesday, Wednesday. Until I'm 100% locked in. A10 Jim Miller is certainly the pick against Damon Jackson. I want to see that knockout. There's another prop. Couple props I'm giving you here early. Full card prediction show. You just got to have faith that after a loss to Bobby Green, where he got picked apart on the feet, he comes back just across the pond. New Jersey native at Madison Square Garden gets it done here. Damon Jackson, he said he had the best training camp ever against Jeppe Mariscal. He did everything correctly. Well, he didn't look very good, so hopefully he goes out there and does the exact same thing, works his ass off for a great fight, because whatever he does, I don't think it's going to be enough against A10 Jim Miller across the pond. You know, I'm looking to get paid, take an underdog here that I have confidence in, and Jim Miller has been my pick before. Knocked out Jesse Butler, 12-4, and submitted Gabriel Benitez. But the fact that he's going to ride off into the sunset and Damon Jackson does not have a durable chin just leads me to believe this is possible. Anything's possible. Anything's possible. At least get the win. Play the money line. We talked about it. Gaston Bolanos. We should have played him on the money line. Took him round 1 KO. That's the only bet I took on him. Big mistake. Should have played the money line. Should have went a little heavy on his money line. Could be the same situation here. Props are sticky. Damon Jackson could survive. Could. So, at plus 110, plus 125, the hell with it. You take the money line. and you look to get paid, make some profit at UFC 309, New York. It's at Madison Square Garden. This guy's from New Jersey, and we're going to backtrack, go back a little bit. Gall, another New Jersey native, versus Ramiz, Brahimaj, however the hell you want to say his name. He's from New York. He is a New York native. Bronx. The Bronx. So, maybe Ramiz can get it done. Home crowd. But this Gall Ramiz fight is one I'm staying away from. Anything can happen. Both guys fighting close to home. So yeah. Where's Bassil Hafez from? Another American. Is he from New York area? He's from Pennsylvania. So, nothing too serious there. The next fight gets real serious with a New York native, though. Chris Weidman, former champion, 40 years old. Another guy looking to ride off into the sunset. But in this matchup with Eryk Anders, 16-8. I just think maybe it's not going to be such a nice ride off into the sunset. You see Chris Weidman with the broken leg. And Brad Tavares took advantage of that. Leg kicks, won a decision. He beat Bruno Silva with a technical decision in his last fight, but he did have a little bit of help with those eye pokes. There should have been some scoring taken off for Weidman. He can be competitive on the feet, but he's a good wrestler. Deep down in his heart, as a dog, he's going to try to bark. 40 years old, try to ride off into the sunset with a win here. But Eryk Anders, when he loses, it's a decision. He did get submitted once by armbar to Andre Muniz, so there is a weird, sketchy path to victory for Chris Weidman by a submission. But can he even get a submission? He won his last couple fights by a decision. He's getting old, 40 years old, right? So, although he's a wrestler, he has 4 submission wins. We haven't seen it since Calvin Gastelum, round 3, 2017. There is a path to victory for sure. Decision win with Lyoto Machida, and then broke the leg of Anderson Silva and knocked him out in round 2. So Chris Weidman, in his day, he had some wicked wins. He was a wicked fighter. We have his card right here, autographed. Unbelievable card. Autographed Chris Weidman here. And I want to pick him to win, but I just don't see the path to victory, having success. Eryk Anders is working on his grappling. He's a good fighter. He wants to get back into the win column with a knockout. This is just a weird fight. Anything can happen. We've seen some weird stuff with the broken leg with Chris Weidman. I know this is a sketchy fight. I know this is a fight you should not be betting on, so I'm not going to bet on it. Simple as that. If you know, you know. You don't bet on this fight. You just don't. I'm picking Eryk Anders. People probably against that, but he beat Jamie Pickett by a decision. Jamie Pickett's fucking 13-10. Knocked out Kyle Dawkins round 2, 11-3. Dawkins very chinny at times, a lot of the time. Decision win with Darren Stewart, 12-6. Yeah, he has a lot of decision losses on the record here. A lot. He got submitted to Andre Petrosky 2020. 2021 was Andre Muniz submission, armbar round 1, Anaconda round 1. Yeah, this is a sketchy fight. It could be a Weidman submission, round 1. But it could be a decision win as well. You never know. This is super sketchy. I don't want to talk about it much longer. It sounds like I'm taking Chris Weidman, but I'm not. I'm taking Eryk Anders. And I just see him winning by a decision, like Brad Tavares, or potentially getting the knockout like Dominic Reyes knocked him out in round 1. Ronaldo Souza knocked him out in round 3. And Musasi, Yoel Romero, Luke Rockhold, all knocked out Chris Weidman. So riding off into the sunset doesn't seem that easy for me. The path to victory won't have success. Submission could unfold. It's very unlikely. But we'll see. We'll see what happens here. There is some props. Might be looking to bet. Have to do more digging on this fight. 100%. Underdog could be barking. Not betting. That's for sure. If you have Chris Weidman, if you're taking him, have a bet on him. Good luck to you. we got his autographed card here. And although I'm picking against him, I'm not that confident, so I'm not giving away this card. Not a chance. Autographed. Chris Weidman, that's a beauty card there. You never know, I could switch my pick on this one. He's from New York. And Eryk Anders is from San Antonio, Texas. So, god damn it. This is a tough fight to predict. Very tough fight to predict. Chris Weidman. God damn it. Could win this fight. Hopefully he wins. Goes off into the sunset with a win, but the pick's Eryk Anders. Super low confidence. Super low confidence. And then we got the prelim headliner, Jonathan Martinez, Marcus McGhee. And this is the first fight on the Platinum picks that I have high confidence in. But it is a 50-50 fight. On the odds, on the topology, I do have faith in my pick. Jonathan Martinez is 19-5, looking to go 20-5 here. He lost his last fight to Jose Aldo. Before that, he was winning a lot of fights, looking damn good. Said Nurmagomedov decision win. Avoided the submission. Avoided any and all danger. He's winning as a dog. He's cashing in. People are liking him as a pick. But Marcus McGhee, he's doing the damn thing. He has a 100% finish rate, 8 wins by knockout, 1 submission win. Now only 3 of them in the first round. He's getting his reads in the first round, finding the finish in round 2, 4 knockouts round 2, 1 submission round 2 in his debut in the UFC, and a knockout in round 3. 100% finish rate for Marcus McGhee. I'm not going against him. I believe in him training at the MMA lab, working his ass off. Jonathan Martinez coming off a loss. He's starting to regress after a bunch of wins in a row. Had a big career, ton of fights. Younger fighter. Marcus McGhee is an older fighter. He has less experience on the record, but he has a higher chance to get the finish in this fight. Although Yanez was knocked out to leg kicks to Martinez in Martinez's last win. He finished off Adrian Yanez with the leg kicks. They were devastating. And Marcus McGhee, his only loss is by finish as well. So it was a submission. And I don't think the path to victory is there for a submission for Jonathan Martinez. His 2 knockout wins are both leg kicks. His leg kicks are what gets him the wins. Winning fights by a decision, being super high IQ, technical, sharp, everywheres. He got knocked out to Davey Grant 2021 with an overhand left in round 2. Marcus McGhee loves his round 2 finishes. If it's not a massive knockout win for Marcus McGhee in round 2, it could be a submission win like he did in his debut. Martinez not knowing to get submitted. He loses fights by a decision. Lost 1 fight to Davey Grant by knockout. So I'm going Marcus McGhee, round 2, knockout in this fight. 100% finish rate. And Martinez starting to regress a little bit. He is one-dimensional with the leg kicks. The path to victory for Marcus McGhee will unfold. He could be a lock of the week. Now, I looked at his interview. He says he sees some holes in Jonathan Martinez's game that he can exploit. He knows his weaknesses versus the strengths of Jonathan Martinez. If you listen to Marcus McGhee, he's very sharp, and he could be better everywheres than Jonathan Martinez. Although he's 9-1, although he's unproven, although he has less experience, he could make a big statement in this prelim headliner against Jonathan Martinez, or he gets put in his place against a guy that's been around the block, looking to go 20-5. But give me Marcus McGhee. Let's make some money on him if you're taking him with me. Could be a lock of the week. Do I want to risk the lock streak on a fight that is looking like a 50-50 fight? Hasn't worked out for me in the past. Haven't got paid taking a 50-50 fight as a lock in the past, so pretty scared to do that, but might have some money on Marcus McGhee. He is a high confidence pick. See him getting the finish here in round 2 if it's not a knockout. He could submit Jonathan Martinez. Like we said with Tricoli, there is a first time for everything. Let's make these bookies pregnant and make some profit, make some money everywhere as we can with these props. There's a lot of them on this card. Subscribe now. Join for $5 a month on Patreon. We're getting into the main card, and we're up 100 units in the last 5 events. You could follow the picks. You could listen on YouTube for the past 5 weeks. Read between the lines and gather up some bets, some plays to make as much profit as Platinum Forecasters just did in the last 5 events. I be pretty honest. I'm transparent on each and every video. That is why we are growing, getting new subscribers each and every video. So thank you everyone for subscribing. Let's bring F3 to the moon. We will be number 1. We are putting in that work. 15 locks in a row. 100 units profit in 5 events. Let me know who's doing that right now. You let me know, and I'll keep working harder. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of these fights I don't have confidence in, but you don't have to have confidence in every fight to prove you're the best. You can have low confidence in fights and know which fights to stay away from, know which fights have the best ability to upset. You could hedge bet, know where to hedge bet, make profit that way. This could be a card where the picks go to shit and we make a ton of money. That's the truth. And let's get to it. We got a main card to talk about, and we got a lot of big favorites. So we can't make that big profit, in my opinion. I might have to go pretty light on the betting card. Usually, I'm putting 30 units down a card, walking away with 20-30 units profit. That's what it's been looking like the last 5 events. This one, have no money down again. Looking at a couple underdogs, couple props. But when you're betting props, you're not going too heavy. I'm trying to get a lock parlay together, but a fighting nerd is due to lose at some point. Mauricio Ruffy fighting James Llontop, who's tough and durable. Lost a split decision to Vyacheslav Borshev in his last fight. Now he's taking the fight relatively short notice. Ruffy was supposed to fight Randy Brown. Rip. We got a Randy Brown out of 100. Yep. 99. 15 out of 99. Randy Brown. He was supposed to fight on the card. But I'm stupid. That wasn't even versus Ruffy. Ruffy was supposed to fight Charlie Campbell. Randy Brown was supposed to fight Carlos Prates. So I don't even know why this Randy Brown card's even here. Randy Brown is going to be fighting soon, though. So yeah, he didn't pull out. Yeah, he ain't no bitch. He didn't back out to the fight nerd. Randy Brown, we got his 99 card there. Supposed to fight Carlos Prates on this card, who just got his paid last week as a lock of the week. We got another fighting nerd here. It was supposed to be 2 fighting nerds on the card. Both of them were obviously going to win. Ruffy, massive favorite though. Massive favorite. Like, I'm confident in him to win, but not as confident as the implied probability here. He's like a minus 800 favorite or more. That gets me a little worried. He has knockout power. Llontop is durable, though. This guy has never been knocked out. There is a first time for everything. We've been talking about that. There is a first time for everything. But Llontop has been durable. He has power in his hands as well. And he's younger. But he just has not been living up to the hype. Losing all of his fights in the UFC. His decision win on Dana White's Contender Series wasn't even that impressive. Surprised he got the contract off that as well. So I don't think this is a spot for Llontop. Although I believe that he is durable. He's tough. This could be even a fight that Ruffy wins a decision. You know what I mean? All wins for Ruffy by knockout. 10 wins, 10 knockouts, 7 in round 1, 2 in round 2, and 1 in round 3. On the Contender Series, he got it done in round 3, Ruffy. He was barking round 3, got it done as a dog. But in this fight, I think James Llontop could be tough enough, and Ruffy gets it done on the judges' scorecards and cashes a massive plus money bet. Because that prop ain't no one looking that way in this fight. Although James Llontop has never been knocked out. Ruffy has. Got knocked out in 2019 round 2 to a guy 3-0. So that's why as a favorite I'm a little scared. He's been knocked out before. Llontop has 4 losses. Never been knocked out. I think he has a good chin. He's durable. Although the fighting nerds are tough, powerful, wicked power, can finish fights, this Ruffy guy has potential to drop the bag because he's been knocked out once before. This is probably not the fight where he does it, but this is the fight where he wins his first ever decision, in my opinion. I'm going to call it. Taking fighting nerds. Can't go against them. Can't do it, won't do it. So let's take Ruffy and let's look at that decision prop. It's probably wicked plus money ready to pay out big time. First fight of the night. Could be a finish. Could be. But let's have it be a 15-minute goddamn war. Let's go. Let's get paid. We got a women's fight. Flyweight bout. I'm taking Karine Silva against Viviane Araujo. Araujo loses a lot of fights by a decision. She gets out-grappled. She gets taken down. She can get controlled. She's good on the feet. Has good striking numbers on the feet. But Karine Silva can take her down, control her, win the fight. Path to victory is there. Winning her fights in the UFC. Looking dominant. She has a lot of submission wins. Her last fight was a decision. She's not known to win a decision. She's usually submitting these girls looking dominant. Can Araujo get submitted? Well, you look at her 6 losses, and she has 5 decision losses. She is a tough girl to finish. She lost to Amanda Ribas, Alexa Grasso, Caitlin Chukagian, Jessica Ai. A lot of decision losses. Let's go back-to-back on the decisions for her and back-to-back decisions on the props, on the picks. Give me Karine Silva for the win. She beat Ketlin Souza. Niebuhr round 1. A girl 8-4 round 1. Durst choke. A girl 12-7-2 in round 1. Armbar. A heel hook in round 1. This could be a big win for Karine Silva. But I'd like to see it be a 15-minute fight. Maybe get tested for a round or 2. Enough for the judges to give it to you on the scorecards. Karine Silva, being the younger fighter by 7 years, should get it done. She has the cardio. She has the takedowns, control time. And she's probably looking at the top 5 of the division. Looking to make a run for it. Gotta take the big favorite here. Another big favorite, Karine Silva. Minus 300. But respectfully so, I do have high confidence in her to get the job done in New York City. Madison Square Garden. Let's go get it. 2 decisions for her back-to-back. 2 decisions for Fight Fiends and Forecasters. Back-to-back. Now we got the big, bad Bo Nickal 6-0 versus Paul Craig. 17-8. 36 years old, Paul Craig. And he is solely looking for the submission. That's solely what he can do. And he's not going to have luck in this fight. I do see Bo Nickal having success on the feet. He has 2 knockout wins. He can sleep his opponent, especially in this fight. A guy with upwards of 6 knockout losses. A chin of thin glass. A shiver, slim sheer of glass. Bo Nickal can knock him out. Kyle Bahio showed the path to victory. Bo Nickal is looking like he's been working on that ground and pound, his striking on film, recent film here. I got to take him to win. Looking for the first round prop as well. He could be one of the first guys to submit Paul Craig. We've seen Brendan Allen get it done in round 3. Bo Nickal is levels above Brendan Allen. He gets it done in round 1 or round 2. Submission or a knockout. Whatever's most valuable, I'll take a bet on. Hopefully the knockout. Hopefully he does not get the submission now. Right? Paul Craig submitted to Brendan Allen before, but he usually gets knocked out. Most of the time. The higher percentage of the time when he loses, it's the knockout. Chin of sheer glass. Let's see Bo Nickal prove that he's well-rounded, can compete on the feet. I'd really like to see him get the job done here on the feet. But if he gets it done on the ground, it is what it is. I'm probably looking towards a first-round bet. Just a first-round prop. Not a first-round knockout. Not a first-round submission. Just a first-round bet. Bo Nickal here. There is another fighter on the card that you could pair him up with round 1. They are going to freeze their opponent and make them look cold as ice. Because they are the much better fighter. Everywhere. Bo Nickal is better everywhere in this fight. 6-0. He's going to smash Paul Craig, who's stepping in here as a sacrifice. So, Bo Nickal's ceiling in the UFC, super high. Paul Craig on a downwards trajectory. Give me Bo Nickal round 1. Absolute domination. He just seen Khamzat smash Whitaker round 1. He has a point to prove. If he has to get it done by a submission in round 1 and not knockout like we want him to, he'll get it done in round 1. First round freeze. Paul Craig is going to get iced. His chin is glass. He's going to shiver. In the next fight on the card, after a minus 1,000 favorite in Bo Nickal, we're looking at a pretty big favorite, minus 300 for Charles do Bronx Oliveira, 34-10, former champion. He beat Justin Gaethje's submission round 1. He submitted Dustin Poirier. Now he's a favorite, and it's hard to go against him being a favorite because Michael Chandler got submitted to Dustin Poirier in his last fight. He's been off 2 years looking for a Conor McGregor fight, and he has ring rust. He's a great fighter. He dropped Charles Oliveira in their last fight. They fought before. This is a rematch. The ideal rematch for Michael Chandler, but, you know, being the American, being on home soil, this might be your octagon like Dustin Poirier said to you in this fight. Charles is from Brazil. He's coming to your turf, and he might light you up again. He knocked you out in round 2 in your last bout with a left hook and ground and pound, although you dropped him. So I do see this fight being a little bit different this time around. Probably a submission round 2 for Charles Oliveira. He submitted Gaethje round 1. He submitted Poirier in round 2. Was it? Submitted Dustin Poirier in round 3. Could not submit Tony Ferguson. Nearly did. Managed to get the knockout against Beneil Dariush and Michael Chandler. But usually in a rematch fight, it goes down differently. Maybe Charles gets knocked out. It's a wicked hedge bet. Michael Chandler KO. Because he did drop Oliveira and had him on his knees. I thought the fight was about to be stopped. So a hedge bet on Chandler is a 100% play here by knockout. Although on the other hand, Charles Oliveira has the ability to knock out Michael Chandler. We've seen it before in their last fight. I think he has a better chance in this fight to get a submission. Honestly. Michael Chandler, he's just weak on the ground. Dustin Poirier, he taps round 3. And Charles, off a loss after having a fight canceled to Islam Makhachev. I think he gets back into the win column. Looks dominant. His other loss was to Islam Makhachev. Round 2, arm triangle choke. Reverse it. Give me round 2, submission win. Arm triangle for Charles Oliveira against Michael Chandler. It's tough to do as a minus 300 favorite, do Bronx. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it. He was a champion at one point, looking very dominant, beating Gaethje, beating Poirier, beating Chandler, beating Ferguson, beating Dariush. He should have beat Arman Tsarukyan. It was a split decision. He gave the fight up. He was a goof. I got to think he gets back into the win column, takes this fight much more serious. If not, I'm absolutely fading Charles Oliveira in his next fight the rest of his career. I feel like this is a fight Charles do Bronx Oliveira needs to win for his legacy. His legacy was here, and it's going down. He can get it back up to here if he can get this win against Michael Chandler. Book it at Madison Square Garden. He's going in as a favorite in enemy territory, and it's going to be one hell of a fight. I'm hedge betting it. Michael Chandler KO because he had him dropped in the last fight. He's been waiting 2 years for Conor McGregor. It might be red panty night in New York for Michael Chandler. He's born and raised in Missouri. Former Bellator fighter here in Michael Chandler. He reached greatness there. He got gold against Benson Henderson, Brent Primus. He's beaten Patrick E. Pitbull, round 1 punch. He has the ability to get the knockout in round 1. Knocked out Dan Hooker round 1, left hook. Knocked out Benson Henderson round 1, left cross. Knocked out Sidney Outlaw, right cross round 1. He has a lot of knockouts in round 1. So hedge bet that shit. Gotta do it. This is one hell of a fight in the co-main event. One I'm looking forward to. But minus 300. I'm gonna do it, I guess. Do Bronx for the win. Save his legacy. If not, Michael Chandler's taking over. He will be one of the next big things in the lightweight division. He will take everything from Charles Oliveira in this fight with a win. So get excited for this one. Crack a beer. Make sure the Pink Whitney's poured. This is going to be one hell of a fight, and let's try to get paid on a prop. If you want to see which ones I'm looking to hit, which ones I'm looking to smack, join for $5 a month. For only $5 per month, you would have profited 100 units profit in the last month. So, hate to tell you that now, but I've been telling you to join for $5 a month for the past 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, since I started my Patreon. So you are far too late at this point. You've lost out on 100 units of profit. Holy cow, you lost out on a lot of money. You could have doubled your bankroll in a month. So, we're going to start fresh right here, right now. We got a main event, championship fight, and we got another first round finish coming up. First round freeze. Jon Jones is the greatest fighter of all time. 5 years younger in this fight. Stipe's been knocked out plenty of times before. Knocked out to Daniel Cormier. DC. The arch nemesis of Jon Jones. Knocked out to the other arch nemesis, Francis Ngannou. Jon Jones has to make this look more dominantly. That's all he has to do. Round 1. Dominant win. We've seen a submission in his last fight. Flip it, it's going to be a knockout in this fight. You see the elbows coming. Jon Jones has a lot of first round finishes with those elbows. He is a dominant fighter, one of the best of all time. And he is Dana White's favorite fighter. He is the GOAT of the promotion. Jon Jones is from fucking New York. So if you don't know, now you know. Jon Jones, born in New York. You gonna go against him now? Probably not. Rochester, New York native John Bones Jones is ready to go in this fight. Get the win. Make it look dominant. More dominant than Francis Ngannou. More dominant than DC did. Round 1, knockout. This is a different era. And Jon Jones is him. You look way back in his early career. He knocked out Chael Sonnen round 1. In 2010, early in his career, early in the UFC, he had 2 first-round finishes with those elbows. He started the career that way, and he's starting to end his career, and he's going to end it with those first-round elbows. Why do I think that? Because his 3rd fight ever in the UFC, it was a guillotine choke. You just seen it in his last fight. History will repeat itself, everybody. And there's been some fighters that have fought in Madison Square Garden before, and maybe history can repeat itself for those fighters. So make sure you're aware of which fighters might have fought in New York before. Maybe it doesn't go their way this time. Maybe it does, but it's something to think about. I didn't talk about which fighters have fought in New York before, but when I was making my picks, I did find out some information. Just don't have it written down in front of me right now. So sorry for that. Don't have the information for you on which fighters have fought in New York before. That'd actually be fun to know. Maybe on the Props and Parlay show. Tune in on Friday. I'll get you a list. Let you know which fighters have fought here before at Madison Square Garden. Might matter. Could matter. Let's make some money. We got Jon Jones round 1. Bo Nickal round 1. We're going Charles Oliveira here. Looking for a round 2 finish. Could be a submission because he got the knockout last time in their last fight. Michael Chandler, Oliveira. Going for a rematch at Madison Square Garden. It probably won't go down the same way as last time. So, Oliveira, do Bronx. Do it in round 2 by submission. Karine Silva, Mauricio Ruffy. 2 fights on the main card. Looking to take here by a decision. Marcus McGhee, another round 2 finish incoming here. Chris Weidman, potential upset against our pick, Eryk Anders, looking to win it here by a decision. Potential knockout for Eryk Anders as well. He has good grappling to defend any of the wrestling from Chris Weidman, and he's much better on the feet. Wants to keep his contract in the UFC as well. Jim Miller, 8'10", he's from New Jersey across the pond. He gets it done here against Damon Jackson. Looking for a finish for him, maybe a knockout. Damon Jackson has been chinny. You look at Marcin Tybura, he has a path to victory against Jhonata Diniz in the grappling. Potential submission in that fight. He submitted Tai Tuivasa, Bam Bam. So if he can do that, maybe he can do it here with a killer, a kickboxer, a knockout artist. Who was supposed to fight Derek Lewis? Jhonata Diniz. Let's see what happens here. Mickey Gall might just get it done here against a New York native. You know, fading the New York natives might not work out. We're going against Weidman, and we're going against Ramiz in this fight. Brahimaj, 10-5. Mickey Gall, 7-6. I question why this 7-6 guy is still in the UFC off 3 losses, but he's been here since he was 1-0, so let's take him to win. We got Oban Elliott, second fight of the night against Bassil Hafez. Might want to sprinkle down something on Hafez here, training with high-level guys, but give me Oban Elliott. Low confidence pick there. Don't do much with that one. Veronica Hardy, Eduarda Moura. We just talked about every fight again, real fast. Quick recap of the full card prediction show. And we got Veronica Hardy with Dan Hardy, training with Dan Hardy, sleeping with Dan Hardy. And we got Eduarda Moura, looking to make some money here as an underdog. You got to trust in who she's training with, the gym, the training partners, and the fact that her last loss was her first ever loss. She was undefeated up until that point. She's going to make some noise in this first fight of the night. The underdogs have been barking in the first fight of the night. I've talked about it before. Did not look good last week, but the dog is barking now, and I'm talking about the first fight of the night, so get ready to bet on Eduarda Moura for the win, plus 130. I guess she's the dog of the week. Benson just confirmed it for everybody there. First fight of the night on a pay-per-view. Maybe that's it. First fight of the night, underdog, and it has to be a pay-per-view. Maybe that has a better percentage, a better hit rate. Let's see if the hitman can go back to work here. Bring up the snipers. We got a lot of props. We got a lot of fights to stay away from. Might want to stay away from a lot of fights if you want to make some money at the end of her. Let's go, Fight Fiends and Forecasters. Remember what to do. It's F3, 4L. Like the video. Subscribe now if you have not yet. We're getting to 1,000 subscribers, and we're going to give out some free money to everybody. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in each and every video. Comment below. Let me know your picks, your confidence levels, and what you're looking to do. And let me know if some of my predictions are off, if what I'm saying is off. Sometimes I do make mistakes. Sometimes I forget to talk about a few things on the show as I have so much to talk about. So, just trying to get a quick video out for everybody, let you know what I'm doing. I'll be back for the props and parlay show. Hopefully I have a locked in. The underdogs are barking. You have a few on the card that you could go and bet right now before the odds drop. Go and do it real quick. Go bet on those dogs before the odds drop. Keep track on that line movement tracker if you're a platinum forecaster for only $5 a month. I have a line movement tracker made up, and you can see the line movement on the fighters, where the odds opened up to where the odds are now, where the money has shifted. It's a great tool, and it's a great feature for platinum members. And you can see the picks early. You can see the locks as soon as they are locked in. You see the locks first. You see the bet, each and every bet on the event for only $5 a month. And I'll give you a look at the platinum bets from last week. We're up 33.3 units. And before that, we've profited big each and every event over the last 5. Had one losing night, minus 3.7 units profit. I did not go as heavy as I would have liked to on a couple picks. Mismanaged the money in the bankroll. But damn, each and every other week, we've killed it. Absolutely crushed it. Over 100 units have been profited over the past 5 events. Within a month, doubled everyone's bankroll for only $5 a month. Hit the link in bio below. Let's get to it. Fight Fiends and Forecasters, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you for commenting below. Staying in Discord, staying active. It's a free Discord chat with a free NFL lobby where I post each and every NFL prediction, NFL bet for absolutely free. All the links are in the bio below. Discord, you should probably be on there. Instagram, probably want to be on there. Twitter, probably should be on there. Telegram, TikTok, YouTube subscribed. Let's get it going. All platforms. You're going to want that information as soon as it gets posted. So for $5 a month, I'm doing you a favor, Fight Fiends. I'm doing you a favor for $5 a month. I'm giving you the best value for the cheapest price in the industry. You want it? Come and get it. Let's go.
What Eddie says. Who gives a We've taken back control of New York City. I run New York City. I'm a pimp. Rocking Gucci mink. And without me, this whole ship sink.